Most beginners don't even realize they're making mistakes that slow them down at the piano. I've been teaching piano for almost 30 years, and these 5 mistakes are the most common, but also the most avoidable. The first thing I see students do a lot of times is attempting to play with flat fingers versus curved fingers. And let me slide over to the piano here to show you the difference. If I try to play with flat fingers, which is going to be a little bit hard, I've pretty much trained this habit out. But if I lay my fingers flat with the keys, and let's just try to play Ode to Joy. It's really hard to do this. I don't have a lot of control over the keys. I'm putting tension into my arms, and this just isn't comfortable, and it's not honestly going to sound as good as it can. But now, if I curve my fingers, right, so that I'm coming down on the tips of them, let's do this. See how much better that sounds? And it's also much easier to control. So if you can learn to train the flat fingers out, that's going to make a big difference in your playing right there. The next thing I see students do, and this happens especially with my adults. I think we spend a lot of time at computers, and if you're an adult, if you're a mom who has kids, you've probably got a little stress in your life, right? And it's really easy for the tension in your shoulders to just start creeping up. Well, if you play with tension, it's really not going to help you. In fact, I'm going to try to do this. I'll do Mary Had a Little Lamb, but I'm going to do it with a lot of tension. Oh, sorry. Well, it sounds like Mary Had a Little Lamb, right? I mean, it's not wrong, but it had kind of a wooden, stiff feel to it. Now, let me take the tension out of my shoulders, relax my arms, and now let's do. Sorry. Can you hear the difference? The music had a nice flow to it. It was moving smoothly, it felt relaxed, it sounded relaxed. It's going to make a big difference in your playing and in how you feel as well. The third thing I see a lot of students do is wanting to skip counting and just kind of, oh, I can feel the rhythm. Yeah, that's about a half note, that's a quarter note. Yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And counting can be kind of a difficult tool to get our heads around in the beginning. Although, if you practice, you're going to catch on very quickly. And it's a tool that's just going to make you a lot more in control, a lot more focused. In fact, this is what I teach in my free course, Key Start Foundations 1. And if you'd like to get access to that, just put beginner in the comments below and I'll send it to you. Like I said, I go through so many more tips and techniques to help you play better, more fluently, and just learn faster. You're not going to make these mistakes. So, once again, if you want to get access to that, just put beginner down below in the comments and I'll send you access to that. The fourth mistake I see students making at times is relying on shortcuts. And shortcuts, well, they seldom are short, right? Usually they end up adding in more layers of difficulty and slowing you down in the long run. One shortcut I've seen students try to use, and maybe you've seen this too, is you find a piece that you really like. And so there's this video on YouTube, and it's got these really cool colors. It almost looks like just kind of cascading down the screen, and a keyboard at the bottom. And as the different colors or notes hit, it shows what key to play when. And I have seen students watch these and practice over and over until they can actually play the song reasonably well. But it takes them hours of concentrating on one song. And when you're finished, anything you learned is really not going to translate to any other piece. Now, had that same student taken that same amount of effort and used it toward learning to read the notes and count the rhythms, that person would have been able to play a wide array of songs and to continue to build on that skill. So that's why I don't recommend going that path. The fifth mistake I see students making, especially in the beginning, is picking a song that is just too hard. Now, I will be the last person to tell you you can't do something, because I absolutely believe if you want to do something badly enough, you will certainly accomplish it. However, especially in the beginning, it's better to focus on songs that build skills versus one single song or one really cool sounding piece. You need to develop a series of techniques and skills and just become fluent at them. It's that fluency that's then going to translate into being able to play those harder, more cool sounding pieces. So it won't take forever, but spending a little time up front on those skills is really going to make a big difference. These are 5 mistakes I've seen hundreds of beginners make, and if you avoid them, you're going to save months of frustration. And of course, the best part, I've already built a free course and book that will walk you through every step, so you never have to wonder what to practice next. Remember, just comment beginner below for access to that. In the next video, I'm going to show you the number 1 hand mistake I see made all the time and how to fix that instantly.